Greetings, everybody. This is Harmony speaking. Hope you're all doing well out there. Today I'm going to be discussing the South Park phenomena made word or phrase of the year, the 6-7. And then they are doing it. They say 6-7, and then they wiggle their hands. And this just reminded me of a video I had previously made about how there are beings that walk amongst us. They look human, but we have what's called DNA in our bodies that are spliced. They call it junk DNA. If had this DNA not been spliced, then you would basically have like superpowers compared to a human. You'd appear to be like a god, in other words. But what it is when you have that DNA not cut, and that's why they're really big on the bloodlines. Wink, wink, hint, hint. Their DNA is intact, and then when your DNA is intact, you have access to the sixth dimension. So they are at all times fully in the sixth dimension. They're born that way. They're just taught very well when they live here in this reality amongst us. They do have their home world, but when they walk amongst us, they're taught very well not to show what we would call superpowers in front of mortals, in front of humans. Mortals is a bad joke. Something about Bewitched. These guys eventually die, so mortals is not a good word. Anyway, sorry, I digress. So now these beings have been able to access the seventh dimension. The seventh dimension is what I refer to as kind of like a buffer zone, kind of like there's really not supposed to be anything in the seventh dimension. There's like supposed to be nothing there, but it is very wobbly. And that's why this reminds me of how when they say the 7, they start to do the wobble thing. Their hands are moving down, so that the seventh dimension is very wobbly. It's very wobbly there. But from there, you can see up into the 8th dimension and even the 9th. It pretty much ends there, and the 10th is the cutoff. But so they from there are those who have made it to the 8th dimension. Probably a few have made it to the 9th. But in general, as a whole, kind of like have human beings or whatever, they have 5 senses is what they say, and then there's the 6th sense, whatever. So anyway, these folks are basically, I think in my opinion, are just making a big joke about how they're awake, and then here they are talking about the Bible. And the Bible was actually, if you do your research, it was written by the Greek Flavians to control populations, and apparently it still catched on and still continues. Let's see here. How do I skip this thing? Sorry. Oh, I guess we're over that one. So anyway, I was just talking about how it reminded me of how there's folks that walk around amongst us that have full dimensional awareness of the 6th dimension. They've accessed the 7th, which is very wobbly, and then South Park goes 6, and then there's a hyphen, 7, and then do the wobbly sign. It just so reminded me of that. Kind of bizarre. Anyway, till next time, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. God bless. Peace. Be well.